brain isn't broken. The thing you call overthinking is actually a superpower running without direction. Neuroscientists have spent decades mapping the network that drives it, and the findings contradict everything self-help told you. Today, I'll show you exactly why your midnight spirals are biology, not failure. You'll leave with a 3-step method you can use tonight. Your brain has a factory setting. Scientists call it your baseline neural state, and it's the pattern your mind returns to when nothing specific is happening. For most overthinkers, that baseline was set early. It was built through repetition, through environment, and through every experience that taught your brain how the world works. Imagine it as the operating system on a computer. You didn't choose it, and it was installed before you knew what a choice was. Every thought loop you run, every anxious reaction, and every time you spiral before bed is your baseline executing its default program. Neuroscientists call this network the default mode network. In plain terms, it's your brain's background app. When you have no specific task to focus on, it activates automatically. It runs through the past, simulates the future, and searches for problems to solve. Here's what it looks like in your life. You lie awake at 2 a.m. and replay a conversation from 3 days ago. You analyze every word you said, every pause, and every reaction you missed in the moment. Your brain isn't trying to torture you because it's doing exactly what it evolved to do. Happiness isn't your brain's primary goal. Survival is. Missing a threat costs more than a false alarm, so your body's alarm system errs on the side of caution. Scientists call this the negativity bias. Negative stimuli, potential dangers, and social rejection hit harder than positive events because organisms that anticipated danger survived and passed on their genes. This survival software explains the 2 a.m. spiral. You aren't in danger, but your brain is still scanning. A meta-analysis of 60 studies confirmed that this kind of repetitive worry sustains elevated cortisol, blood pressure, and heart rate, even when you're completely safe. The brain keeps running the threat program, and you pay the metabolic price. That's why chronic overthinking feels physically exhausting. It isn't because you're weak, and it isn't because you lack discipline. It's because your biology is executing a program it was designed to run. But here's what nobody in mainstream psychology talks about. The default mode network itself isn't broken, it's poorly regulated. In depression, researchers found stronger coupling between this background app and brain regions that encode negative emotion and withdrawal. The system isn't the problem. The coupling is what creates the pain. See it as a powerful engine connected to the wrong fuel line. Your heart beats faster, your muscles tighten, and your digestion slows. These aren't symptoms of weakness. They're the physical signature of a brain that never received the all-clear signal. The body stays on alert because the mind keeps representing a threat that no longer exists. That loop is your biology protecting you from a danger that disappeared years ago. But the same network that exhausts you at midnight also builds your best ideas, and few people ever learn how to redirect the current. Repetitive thought isn't inherently harmful. A major review in Nature Reviews distinguished constructive repetitive thought from unconstructive loops. The issue isn't the repetition itself. The issue is the quality, the content, and the context. When you systematically review what went wrong to learn from it, or deliberately rehearse how you'll handle a challenge, that's your brain using its simulation capacity exactly as intended. In overthinkers, the default mode network is larger and more active than average. That's not a defect. That's extra processing power idling without a task. A 2024 study on freely moving mind wandering found that people whose mental drift was flexible during rest showed higher creative performance afterward. The same brain dynamics that fuel those late-night spirals also generate creative breakthroughs. Research on college students also found that intrusive rumination after difficult experiences correlated with post-traumatic growth and creativity when resilience was present. The loop isn't the enemy, but the loop without direction is what drains you. Let me tell you about someone. Call her Maya. She was a project manager, sharp and capable. By every external measure, she was doing fine. But she had this habit of dissecting every conversation. At work, that pattern detection saved projects and spotted risks that nobody else saw. At 2 a.m., the same skill exhausted her. She wasn't broken. She was running a high-capacity engine in a closed garage. Here's another scene you know. You stand in the cereal aisle, and there are dozens of options. Your brain simulates every outcome. You imagine the sugar rush, the health choice, the money, the waste, and the review you might post. This isn't indecision. This is your simulation network treating a $5 choice like a survival threat because it never learned the difference. Neuroscientists found that individuals at risk for depression show greater activation in these same self-referential regions after hearing criticism, but not after praise. The network is tuned to prioritize negative social information. That's not a personality flaw, and it is a calibration issue your brain can learn to reset. Your overthinking is value neutral from a biological standpoint. It can be harnessed for growth or trapped in cycles of self-attack, depending on how it's directed and regulated. The capacity for sustained cognitive engagement with emotional material is a gift. The steering wheel is what's missing. Once you have the wheel, the same engine takes you where you choose. Driving this engine instead of letting it drive you takes 3 steps. They're backed by neuroscience, and you can start tonight. Step 1 is naming the loop. When the spiral starts, don't fight the thought. Distance yourself from it. Instead of saying, "I'm a failure," say, "I'm having the thought that I'm a failure." This is called cognitive diffusion. Research shows that this simple rephrase creates psychological space between you and the thought. The thought is still there, but it's no longer you. It's a string of words passing through your mind, and you're the one watching them arrive. But here's the mistake that keeps the loop spinning. People name the loop, and then they try to suppress it. That never works. Step 2 is giving it a job. Once you've named the loop, redirect the simulation toward one specific, solvable problem. The same review that mapped constructive repetitive thought showed that individuals who systematically examined past events to learn from them or deliberately rehearsed strategies for upcoming challenges reported better outcomes. Your brain wants to analyze. Give it a target. If you're replaying a conversation, don't ask why you're like this. Ask what one thing you can do differently next time. That changes the loop from self-attack to skill building. This circuit is still active, but now it's working for you. But even with the loop named and given a job, there's still one missing piece. The engine is running, but the software is still executing the old code. Step 3 is breaking the circuit. Your brain uses your environment to predict which program to run. Researchers call this context-dependent neural activation. If you're lying in bed spiraling, your body is feeding the loop. Stand up, move to another room, splash cold water on your wrists, and take 3 slow breaths. These small movements interrupt the neural pattern before it deepens. These actions aren't relaxation hacks, they're physiological regulation. They restore prefrontal control over the default mode network. When your nervous system shifts, the background app receives a new signal. The loop loses its fuel, and your body finally gets the message that the danger has passed. Here's how it looks when you put it together. You're lying in bed at 2 a.m., replaying that conversation. You catch it. You say, "I'm having the thought that I embarrassed myself." Then you ask what you can learn for next time. Then you stand up and get water. It's the same system and the same brain, but the direction is different now. The superpower finally has a job, and you're no longer fighting your mind. You're steering it exactly where you want to go. You're not broken. You're a high-capacity processing system running an old program. That spiral isn't a bug. It's a feature that was never upgraded, and neuroscience calls it neuroplasticity. Your defaults were built by repetition, and they can be rebuilt the same way. Every time you choose a new response, you lay down a fresh neural pathway. Write "new default" in the comments right now to claim this shift. Not because it helps the algorithm, but because it tells your own brain that you're starting. Subscribe because the next video shows exactly how to rebuild your brain's default settings. You'll meet the version that was never broken. It's the one that existed before the old program was written over it.